Stonewall Jackson was born as Thomas Jonathan Jackson on January 21st, 1824, in Clarksburg, Virginia, now West Virginia. He got his nickname after standing like a stone wall at the First Battle of Manassas in 1861. He was well known for his strict self-discipline and his strong sense of responsibility. He was in the U.S. Military Academy at West Virginia. He withdrew into himself and spent very little time socializing. Jackson had a major problem with recitation. If he got a problem such as a math problem, he wouldn't move on from that until it was solved. Most people saw his single-mindedness as off-putting. He was more interested in accomplishing his goals than making friends.
Stonewall Jackson was born on January 21st, 1824, in West Virginia. In 1826, his older sister and father died. He attended the United States Military Academy at West Point. Jackson was not the first choice for his congressional district's appointment, but the top applicant withdrew from the academy after only one day. He graduated in June 1846. He married Eleanor Junkin, daughter of Dr. George Junkin and Julia Miller Junkin. His wife Eleanor died in childbirth on October 22, 1854. Their child, a son, was stillborn. On July 16, 1857, Jackson married for the second time. His wife was Mary Anna Morrison, daughter of Robert Hall Morrison and Mary Graham Morrison. Her family resided in North Carolina. Her father was the retired president of Davidson College. Mary Ann gave birth to a daughter, Mary Graham, on April 30, 1858. The baby died less than a month later, on May 25. In November 1859, Jackson was one of the VMI officers.
The fought in December 11 to 15, 1862, in and around Fredericksburg, Virginia, between General Robert E.'s Confederate Army of Northern Virginia and the Union Army of the Potomac, commanded by Major General Ambrose Burnside. The Battle of Fredericksburg was one of the turning points of the Civil War. Jackson started the campaign under Lee's order. Jackson was able to catch up all of the supplies of the Union Army depot. Then he had his troops destroyed all of it, for it was the main depot for the Union Army. Jackson then retreated and then took up a defense position. This is confidence victory. Just before the battle, Jackson was delighted to receive a letter about the birth of his daughter, Julia Laura Jackson, on November 23rd. Jackson was promoted to Lieutenant General, being ranked just behind Lee and Longstreet.
While this campaign was carried out in Virginia in 1962, Thomas Stonewall Jackson was the Confederate officer. Under his leadership, the Confederate defeated North to march the Union was going to Richmond Bank. On March 23, Jackson led 3,400 people to fight in Curacao, but they were lost. It was the first time and also once that Jackson was lost. From May 8th to 9th, Union Army crossed the river. The Confederates saw them, but 4 hours later, the Federal Army repulsed, withdrew McDown. The next day, the Union Army attacked again, but also defeated. Confederates entered the McDown.
The First Battle of Bull Run, also known as First Manassas, was fought on July 21, 1861, in Prince William County, Virginia, near the city of Manassas, not far from Washington, D.C. It was the first major battle of the American Civil War. The Union forces were slow in positioning themselves, allowing Confederate reinforcement time to arrive by rail. Each side had about 80,000 poorly trained and poorly led troops in their first battle. It was a Confederate victory followed by a disorganized retreat of the Union forces. When the American Civil War broke out in April 1861, Jackson was put in charge of new recruits. He was given the charge of Harper's Ferry, where he commanded 5 Virginia infantry regiments, who were to be given the nickname to Stonewall Brigade because it never retreated. Jackson believed that this plan was at the core of military success, and at the heart of this plan was doing what you were ordered instantly. Therefore, he made his men spend many hours. Jackson and the Stonewall Brigade found fame of the First Battle of Bull Run at Henry House Hill, while Confederate lines all around him seemed to be crumbling. Jackson ordered that his men should stand firm. Their stand was said to have rallied other Confederate units around them, who solidified their lines and stopped a Union victory. The Stonewall Brigade suffered more casualties on that day than any other Confederate unit. Jackson was promoted to Major General and given command of the very big district.